Oh, my back. Canada is a vast treasure trove of music that I would love to explore deeper one day.
I don't even know what your name is, bud.
The Great White North has given us one of the greatest bands of all time, Nickelback.
Look at this graph.
As well as some classic pop-punk bands like Sum 41 and Simple Plan. And don't even get me started on all of the elite indie rock from Canada. Broken Social Scene, Hot Hot Heat, Metric. Canada is just top tier when it comes to music. Oh, Canada. But there's one Canadian band that I've been obsessed with for a while now. And that's Marianas Trench.
Hey, oh, where did all the good go? Baby, this is where you're dead wrong. Alright.
They mix the pop-punk of Fall Out Boy with the theatrics of Panic at the Disco and the ambition of My Chemical Romance. Their albums are highly underrated, and they're all pretty solid. But are they all created equal? Let's find out.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Hello and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, I'm Trevor and I am eternally uncool. I make videos about music, music culture, and anything that interests me. But mostly music right now. So if that sounds like something you'd be into, then I highly recommend subscribing to the channel and watching the rest of this video. I became obsessed with Marianas Trench about a year or so ago when someone recommended them to me on the post-hardcore subreddit of all places. They told me to listen to the album Astoria, so I did. And after that, I just kind of dove headfirst into their entire discography. Kind of like what I want to do with the real Marianas Trench.
I'm doing fine.
I found myself enjoying everything I heard. I was surprised I hadn't gotten into them earlier. For the longest time, I wanted to make a Marianas Trench ranking video, but I just couldn't get the rankings right. It was hard, so I just kind of put the video off. Until now. I've had a lot of time to listen to all the albums multiple times and kind of just form my opinions on them. And now I think I've got a pretty good ranking. What I want to do today is take a look at Marianas Trench's discography. I'm going to rank their albums from worst to best. Now keep in mind that this is all my own personal opinion. If I put your favorite album at the bottom or your least favorite album at the top, I'm sorry. With all that being said, grab a drink, grab a snack, get comfortable, and let's get into Marianas Trench from worst to best.
Meet me in the dark. Kiss me in the shadows of every spark.
It was really hard trying to decide which Marianas Trench album is the worst. None of their albums are bad. They're all well produced, well written, the band puts everything they have into their performances, so I couldn't really say that any one of them was the worst. But there is one that I've listened to the least, and that one is Phantoms.
I knew you
Phantom is MT's fifth album, released in 2019. Its sound is a drastic change from their previous album. Phantoms had a more modern pop sound with a little bit of symphonic elements thrown in there. It's not a bad album by any stretch of the imagination. Don't get that idea. Get that idea out of your head. Take that idea, throw it out the window. Phantoms is essentially Mariana's version of the electro-pop album that every emo and pop-punk band has been making for the last 15 years. Like Mania or Pray for the Wicked. It's good. So why is it at the bottom of my list? Like I said at the top of this entry, it's the album that I've come back to the least amount of times. But this album does have the potential to grow on me. So this probably isn't Phantom's permanent position, but for now, it's at the bottom.
all the broken hearts that hang around here, and all the sick things that make you pull out your hair, all the bad dreams, all the nightmares, and all the avarice that's always taking it in.
A band's debut is hardly representative of the band that they will become. Usually it's a band finding themselves out. Sometimes you'll see the hallmarks that the band eventually becomes known for. Maybe a certain song will go down as a fan favorite, or even become a minor hit. Just because a band's debut album might not necessarily be indicative of how they sound forever in their career, doesn't mean that it's not good. Sometimes it's pretty okay. And that could be said for Marianas Trench's debut album, Fix Me.
This is where I scream from. Yeah, you can take it all away now. There's a little bit of you in all this. You can say all the things you know, yeah.
Fix Me features a more aggressive emo sound than the band's later work. You still have some very theatrical moments in songs like Decided to Break It and the hit single Handshake Tramp.
Try a little more, little more, little more. You slap you like a bitch and you take her like a whore.
I think the thing I like most about this album is that its entire theme and its entire story is frontman Josh Ramsey reflecting on his addiction to heroin and getting kicked out of high school and just everything that went along with that. I really like that. I like the personal storytelling and just this overall theme of self-reflection and recovery. Some of my favorite albums and favorite bands deal with the singer or one of the members being very vulnerable about their addictions or their problems.
Trevor, if you like the concept so much, why is it your second to worst album?
Like I said, none of these albums can really be considered worst. Fix Me is a good album with some truly great songs on it, but it's still their debut, and not really indicative of them as a band, like overall. They'd really hone their sound by their next album, becoming more theatrical and adding those symphonic elements that they're known for. But as it stands, Fix Me is a very good album. But is it Mariana's best?
No.
Twist the fate in the dark, face to face with who we are. Put away what we lost, compensate with what we got.
I did a whole review on Haven, so I'm not going to take too much time on this one. If you want to know my deeper thoughts on the album, once again,
Description?
Haven is a good album. I was excited when it finally came out. It definitely lived up to the hype that I had hyped myself into hyping up. It featured a classic rock sound with some 80s flair, and the concept of the album was really intriguing, focusing on each step of the hero's journey. It was an overall immersive and engaging experience. I mean, I find myself singing songs like Down to You out of nowhere, just when I'm like doing work.
All this time I've been wasting, these days go by, just can't replace you, and everything all comes down, yeah.
But I do feel that some of the songs really overstay their welcome. Or they just don't excite me the same as some of the other songs on the album. I've come back to the album a few times since its release in August of last year, and some of the slower songs really take me out of the experience.
They're not bad.
But I feel like they just drag the story a little bit. Haven is a solid album that combines all of MT's strong suits. Do I think it's their best album? I think they've done better, but it's still new. So it still has a chance to prove itself and really grow on me. As of right now, it fits perfectly in the middle.
We've been stuck now so long, we just got the start wrong. One more last try, I'ma get the ending right.
For many artists, their second album is a crucial album. A good debut can open a lot of doors, but a bad follow-up can close them. If your second album sucks, or it's just derivative of the first one,
You're gonna have a bad time.
bands and artists will usually try to expand their sound or experiment on their second album. You know, take more risks. Sometimes it works, and sometimes it backfires. But for Marianas Trench, it worked out for the better, establishing them as one of the best emo bands in all of Canada. With Masterpiece Theater, Marianas Trench went into a more emo sound than their more hard rock leaning debut. They started to add a little bit more theatrics, hence the title. This album really set Marianas Trench up for what they would become. A theatrical emo band with an ear for pop. Not only do they have pop-punk bangers like All to Myself,
Did you say please just follow me? I thought you wanted me 'cause I want you all to myself.
but you have these big, swelling ballads like Beside You.
If your heart wears thin, I will hold you up, and I will hide you when it gets too much.
This whole album is just a perfect mix of Panic at the Disco's theatricality and 2000s pop punk. I think this was the perfect second album for Marianas Trench, setting them up for a more theatrical sound that allowed them to explore more poppier elements. But is it their best? Segue.
I'll sing whatever doesn't make me stronger, kills me. It's gonna be
Astoria holds a special place in my heart because it was the first Marianas Trench album that I ever heard. When it was recommended to me, I immediately checked it out and was completely blown away from the first track. It was epic and theatrical, but also had a balanced blend of pop and rock. And the longer I listened to the album, the more I enjoyed it. And it quickly made me a fan.
Oh, you could just shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up and kiss me. Shut up. Shut up, shut up, shut up. Shut up and kiss me. Sing.
Astoria takes all the things that Marianas Trench is good at and turns it up to 11. Hell, it turns it up to 12. You have theatricality, pop hooks, the high energy, the great vocals, and it's all wrapped up in this blanket of nostalgia, taking influence from movies like The Goonies, and there's so many great songs on this album. Outside of the title track,
Which is an absolute banger.
you have songs like Who Do You Love, One Love, This Means War. There are all these really big, bombastic songs that have a undeniable pop sensibility about them. I owe my fandom to this album. Without it, I don't think I'd even be interested in the band. But it's still not my favorite album by them. My favorite is...
And I'm begging you, bring me back to life. I just can't stand leaving you on the night. It's too late to go. Already taking me forever just to try, you know.
As I've been listening to more and more Marianas Trench, I've realized that all of my favorite songs come from one album. And that album is their third album, 2011's Ever After. And we'll put that right here. When I really dove deep into Marianas Trench's songs and music videos, everything I found myself really liking a lot was from this era of the band. Ever After has some of the band's best songs and music videos. And I'm just a sucker for a great music video. It's the filmmaker in me.
Can't let this go when I got you right where I want you. I've been pushing for this for so long.
Desperate Measures, Stutter, Haven't Had Enough, Fallout. I also just love the concept of this album. It tells the story of a fictionalized Josh Ramsey and his adventures in this magical toyland. It's just really cool and really interesting and thematic. Ever After is just the era I associate Marianas Trench with the most. This is my favorite MT era and my favorite Marianas Trench album. What do you think of my rankings? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What are yours? Let me know in the comments. That's gonna do it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then I highly recommend smashing that like button and sharing this video with everyone you know. I am a small, independent content creator who does everything on his own. And I'm really trying to grow my channel, so every like, every comment, every share, any interaction with this video at all really helps me out a lot. I'm also trying to grow my Instagram, so if you want to follow that, you can. But with all that being said, thank you for watching. As always, I'm Trevor. Stay uncool. And that's the end of the video. Goodbye.